Rain hammered Victor Hale's lonely mansion while thunder rolled across the dark hills surrounding the billionaire's silent property tonight. The giant dining hall felt colder than a graveyard as crystal chandeliers trembled softly above untouched luxury dinner tables. Victor sat beside the fireplace, gripping a glass of whiskey, while exhaustion buried itself deep inside his hollow, tired eyes. Outside the iron gates, an old homeless woman stood beneath the violent storm, clutching secrets capable of destroying Victor's entire world. Security guards mocked the soaked stranger cruelly until she whispered Victor's hidden medical condition with terrifying accuracy through trembling lips. Inside the mansion office, Victor struggled signing documents because violent shaking inside his hands had grown worse every single week lately. Doctors blamed stress and business pressure repeatedly, but Victor secretly feared something dark was silently destroying his body from within slowly. The old woman entered the glowing mansion lobby, dripping rainwater across marble floors, while servants watched her silently with visible fear tonight. Victor approached angrily near the grand staircase, yet the mysterious woman ignored his voice and stared only toward his whiskey glass. "You are not dying naturally, Mr. Hale. Your wife has been poisoning you for months," the old woman whispered beneath exploding thunder. Victor's trembling fingers tightened around the hospital report, while silence swallowed the massive mansion beneath roaring midnight thunder outside tonight. The old woman revealed she once worked inside St. Rowan Medical Center, where Victor's confidential blood samples secretly arrived weeks earlier. She explained the poison was carefully designed to weaken nerves slowly, leaving victims alive while destroying their strength and independence completely. Victor refused believing her words at first, yet painful memories returned whenever Eleanor insisted he finish every private drink beside her nightly. Rainwater dripped across marble floors while nervous servants exchanged frightened glances, and security guards quietly stepped farther away from the stranger tonight. Inside the luxury kitchen, Victor secretly poured his untouched whiskey into a silver flower vase before demanding another identical glass immediately prepared. Minutes later, Eleanor entered the dining hall, smiling lovingly, but her expression shifted slightly after noticing Victor never touched the original drink tonight. Victor watched carefully during dinner while thunder shook the mansion walls, noticing Eleanor stared more at the glass than his suffering condition lately. Later, beneath the stormy hospital garage, Victor handed both whiskey samples to a private laboratory specialist he trusted beyond everyone else, silently tonight. Driving alone through empty highways afterward, Victor's phone vibrated suddenly with a terrifying laboratory message saying, "Never drink inside your mansion again." Victor sat frozen inside the moving car, while blurred city lights disappeared beneath rain and fear consumed his exhausted mind completely tonight. He returned home after midnight, yet something felt horribly wrong, because servants avoided eye contact and silent hallways suddenly felt dangerously unfamiliar now. Inside his private office, Victor opened hidden medical records and discovered Eleanor secretly replaced his doctors 3 separate times within one single year. Every doctor questioning Victor's worsening illness mysteriously vanished afterward, leaving behind sealed transfers and strange resignation letters without proper explanations ever afterward. Victor's breathing grew heavier while searching deeper into security archives until he discovered nightly kitchen recordings had been mysteriously erased for several months. Meanwhile, across town, the old woman waited quietly inside a small charity clinic where flickering lights revealed scars covering her fragile, shaking hands tonight. During a late-night phone call, she confessed Eleanor once poisoned another wealthy businessman years earlier, using the exact same slow, deadly chemical secretly before. Victor felt his world collapsing because Eleanor had comforted him lovingly through every hospital visit while secretly watching his body slowly weaken beside her. The billionaire secretly installed hidden cameras throughout the mansion kitchen before waiting silently inside darkness, watching glowing security monitors until dawn finally arrived tonight. Then Victor froze completely after seeing Eleanor remove a tiny glass bottle before pouring poison carefully into his morning whiskey, without hesitation, once again. Victor stared silently at the glowing security monitor, while years of love transformed instantly into horrifying betrayal inside his shattered, exhausted heart, tonight completely. His chest tightened painfully, remembering every hospital collapse, every trembling hand, and every comforting lie Eleanor whispered beside his suffering body nightly. Instead of confronting her immediately, Victor copied the hidden footage onto a secure drive before driving alone across empty highways before sunrise silently appeared. His black luxury car stopped outside St. Rowan Hospital, where exhausted nurses crossed cold corridors, while Victor carried devastating evidence inside trembling hands tonight. Inside a quiet medical office, laboratory specialists confirmed the poison targeted nerves slowly, keeping victims conscious while destroying physical strength over many painful years. Victor remembered every humiliating moment he failed, holding a pen steadily while Eleanor watched silently, pretending fear and concern beside him throughout everything. The old woman arrived wearing the same rain-soaked coat before revealing Eleanor once murdered her own wealthy brother using identical poison many years earlier secretly. Victor could barely breathe after learning the stranger was not random at all, but the forgotten sister of Eleanor's very first helpless victim. Back inside the mansion that evening, Eleanor acted lovingly again while servants prepared dinner, unaware Victor already discovered her terrifying hidden truth completely tonight. But the second Eleanor lifted Victor's poisoned crystal glass toward him, police sirens suddenly exploded outside the mansion gates beneath violent thunder tonight, loudly. Blue police lights flashed violently across mansion walls, while Eleanor stood frozen beside the dinner table, gripping Victor's poisoned whiskey glass silently tonight. Detectives stormed through the grand hallway as terrified servants stepped aside, finally realizing Victor's mysterious illness was never caused by stress or exhaustion. Victor remained silent while officers played hidden footage showing Eleanor secretly poisoning his drinks across multiple horrifying nights inside the luxury mansion repeatedly recently. The entire mansion suddenly felt colder than death because every memory Victor trusted now carried unbearable betrayal, hidden beneath Eleanor's loving performances throughout years. Inside the interrogation room, Eleanor finally confessed she feared losing Victor's fortune once doctors hinted his recovery could threaten inheritance control permanently, afterward secretly. Days later, Victor visited the old woman again inside the small charity clinic where weak, forgotten patients waited quietly beneath flickering hallway lights, together silently. The woman refused Victor's expensive reward gently, saying saving one honest soul mattered more than every fortune hidden behind lonely mansion walls forever afterward. Weeks later, Victor returned stronger than before, yet he removed every golden portrait because power meant absolutely nothing without genuine trust beside it anymore. Standing alone during a crowded charity event, Victor donated his massive mansion toward helping victims suffering hidden domestic abuse and silent poisoning cases forever afterward. The deadliest poison is never hidden inside the glass we drink. It hides inside the hands we trust with our entire lives.